You wake up to the sound of your phone vibrating. At first you ignore it. Another spam call, another message you don't need, but it keeps buzzing. You roll over and check. A notification. A government message. Mandatory military registration update required. You stare at the screen longer than you should. The news has been full of it for months. The war in Ukraine dragging on, casualties rising, mobilizations announced, denials, then confirmations. Some men you know already left. Some never came back. Others stopped answering messages entirely. You tell yourself it's probably nothing. Just paperwork. Recruitment office. The office smells like old paint and wet coats. You sit in a plastic chair, watching other men avoid eye contact. Nobody talks. The only sounds are boots on tile and the flipping of documents. Your name gets called. Inside, the officer doesn't smile. He checks your passport, your health form, your age. Fit for service, he says flatly. You start to explain you have a job, responsibilities, plans. He shrugs. Partial mobilization, he says. Country needs you. A paper slides across the desk. You don't remember deciding to sign it, but suddenly you're holding a pen. Bus ride to training. You sit on a crowded bus heading out of the city. Nobody jokes, nobody sings. Some scroll endlessly on their phones reading news updates, reports of fighting in eastern Ukraine, artillery battles near cities like Bakhmut and Avdiivka, drone strikes, trench warfare reminiscent of another century. Someone whispers that the war was supposed to be quick. Another says it's already been years. You pass forests, frozen fields, abandoned factories. The further you go, the quieter the bus gets. Training camp. The training base is chaos. Old barracks, rusting equipment, uniforms that don't fit. You're handed boots too big and a rifle older than you expected. The instructors shout constantly, "Faster! Again! War won't wait for you!" Training feels rushed. A few weeks of drills, shooting practice, learning how to throw grenades, dig trenches, treat wounds. You hear rumors? Some units were sent to the front with barely any preparation. Some soldiers had to buy their own gear. Some never fired their weapons before their first battle. At night, you lie in your bunk listening to the others breathe. Someone quietly cries. Nobody mentions it. While you train, the war keeps moving. You hear about missile strikes and counteroffensives, territory changing hands, sanctions tightening, Western weapons flowing into Ukraine, drone warfare becoming more deadly, names of places become familiar: Donetsk, Luhansk, Kharkiv, Zaporizhzhia. Each name sounds further away than it really is. Deployment orders. One morning, everything speeds up. You're told to pack, no explanation, just, you leave today. Your stomach drops. You knew this was coming, but knowing doesn't help. You call home. Your mother tries to sound calm. Your father says he's proud. Neither of them believes what they're saying. You promise you'll be fine. You don't believe it either. Train to the front. The train is filled with soldiers and silence. Some sleep. Some stare out the window. One guy jokes nervously about coming back a hero. Another mutters, "If we come back." As the train rolls closer to the border, you notice military vehicles everywhere. Convoys, artillery, helicopters overhead. This isn't training anymore. This is real. Arrival near front line. The air smells like smoke and damp soil. Distant booms echo constantly. You feel each one in your chest before you hear it. You're moved into a trench network carved into muddy ground. The trench walls are reinforced with wood and sandbags. Drones buzz faintly somewhere above, both sides using them to spot positions and drop explosives. The older soldiers barely look at you. One finally says, "Stay low, listen carefully, and don't be brave." First night in trench. Night falls, but it's never truly dark. Flares light up the sky in harsh white flashes. Artillery thunders intermittently. You try to sleep, but every sound jolts you awake. Your hands shake when you hold your rifle. You realize something. This war isn't like the movies. It's waiting, Cold, noise, fear, and long stretches of nothing until suddenly everything happens at once. First combat. Morning comes with a distant whistle. Someone yells, "Incoming!" Explosion. Dirt rains down into the trench. Another whistle. Another blast. Your ears ring. Commands blur together. "Medic! Move! Watch the drone!" You fire toward a tree line you can barely see. You don't know if you hit anything. You don't even know where exactly the enemy is. All you know is the noise, the smoke, and the pounding in your chest. Minutes feel like hours. Then suddenly, silence. When the smoke clears, you see the cost. A wounded soldier groaning, a helmet lying in the mud with no one near it. The older soldier who warned you earlier just sits quietly, staring ahead. Nobody celebrates. Nobody talks about victory. They just reload and wait for the next attack. Days passing montage. Days blend together. Cold meals, wet socks, endless shelling. News trickles in about stalled offensives, heavy losses on both sides, and international talks that go nowhere. You stop thinking about politics. Your world shrinks to stay alive until morning, stay alive until night, stay alive one more hour. Final assault order. One evening, the order comes. Your unit must advance. Take a nearby position. No debate, no time, just prepare to move. Your mouth goes dry. You check your rifle. Your hands don't feel like yours anymore. A whistle blows. Go! 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 You climb out of the trench. Battlefield run. The world becomes chaos. Gunfire cracks. Artillery shakes the ground. You run across muddy open land, boots slipping. Someone beside you falls. You don't stop. You can't. Your lungs burn. Your vision narrows. The tree line gets closer. Then, a sharp impact. You stumble. Your legs give out. You hit the ground hard. Dying POV. The sounds become distant, muffled. You try to move, but your body won't respond. The sky above you looks strangely calm, clouds drifting slowly. You think about home, your room, your family. The morning you ignored your phone. If only you could go back to that moment. The battlefield noise fades further, voices blur. The sky grows dimmer. Your final thought. You were just living your life. And now, it's over.